I want to start by commending Senator Klobuchar and my other colleagues on what has been a truly bipartisan effort to break ground in an issue where we have made precious little progress in this Congress over several sessions. This is an area where we have to make progress legislatively to reckon with the dominant tech platforms and their anti-competitive impacts and their so far unknown impacts on our society as well as our economy. I'll briefly mention a bill that I'm developing with Senator Klobuchar and Senator Portman that would require social media platforms to provide researchers and the public with access to data to help us better understand user behavior and how content moves on these platforms and its potentially pernicious impact on its users. So in navigating that, I've become even more familiar with my colleagues' deep commitment to addressing substantive and complex policy issues, and I'm excited to see meaningful bipartisan work in this area proceed. We all agree that the largest digital platforms exercise enormous market power and at times exercise them in monopolistic ways, and I share the concerns many have expressed about the impact that anti-competitive behavior can have on consumers and innovation. But given that all the platforms here at issue have distinct business models and a number of the concepts introduced here are relatively new, I have significant concerns to balance about whether or not this bill achieves the right balance between the costs and inefficiencies of litigation and compliance and potentially unintended negative consequences on the competitiveness globally of our digital democracy principles on the world stage, and whether or not we're achieving enough progress in terms of combating any competitive behavior on the other. I've had very fruitful conversations with Senator Klobuchar about these concerns. She's been engaging and pragmatic as always, and I commend her for the work she's done to move this legislation forward. I was pleased to see that the manager's amendment recognized some of the concerns raised by myself and by other colleagues. I am not yet persuaded the legislation would most efficiently address any competitive behavior while improving the state of play for consumers and their privacy and data security. I have remaining concerns about privacy and security, about our global competitiveness, and about services that are widely popular with consumers and my constituents. So I am going to support this bill in markup here today in this committee, but I expect the bill sponsors will continue to work to address some of these open questions that I and many others have expressed about the bill so that we might be able to further amend it and ultimately support it in its passage on the floor. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.